the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Gintama Gintoki Sakata. And this is a figure that I had to pick up for multiple reasons, man. This is an anime that I watched well over 10 years ago that brought me out of a dark place. So I'm really excited to talk about this one. So let's go ahead and get started diving right into that sexy packaging. Now, when it comes to the box, as you guys can see, the colors definitely fit the theme of the character. You've got the blues, the grays, the whites, all of that to basically resemble Gintama's or Gintoki's uniform. You got the window where you can see the figure as well as some of the accessories, images of the figure on the front, along the sides, and then of course on the back, you've got him posed up a little bit as well, showing off some of that articulation, and then a bunch of things at the bottom I cannot read because I imported this figure. Now, if you want to get your hands on it, I picked this guy up from Hobby Genki. Go check them out. I do believe this guy's still in stock. Now, I do mean it when I say that I haven't seen this anime in well over a decade, but it makes me so happy to have my hands on a figure of a character that really just brought joy to me in a dark time. And I mean it, you guys. Like, this was one of the anime I decided to watch when I got back into anime just because it made me feel good, man. This character really brought a lot of laughs to me, and I love that about him. And this figure right here captures and embodies that character so freaking well, man. Now, the promo images for this didn't really sell me, but now that I've got him in hand, I gotta say that this thing looks superb, yo. I love everything about this figure. Now, granted, there are some things that I wish they would have done differently, but I'm not going to complain too much. It's basically going to be me covering the same thing I do when it comes to characters that wear uniforms like this. Now, first off, the head sculpt, absolutely outstanding, man. I have no complaints there. The face looks really good. The hair sculpt is nice. The body, from basically the entire upper half, I think is perfect. From the waist all the way up, I don't think that they could have done that any better. Love what they did with the sleeves and all of that. It looks freaking good. And when it comes to the lower body, I do wish they would have went with a softer plastic for the robe, man. It definitely needs a softer plastic in order to be able to pose this guy. Now, I wouldn't have minded if they had given us soft goods, but we know Tamashii Nations is just, they're not going to do that. They're very freaking picky when it comes to doing that. So it is what it is, but this is going to hinder the articulation a little bit. Now, you can pose him, of course, and it'll sit, but it would be a whole lot better if it was a softer plastic, because moving the leg forward, as you guys can see, it's not going to hold anything. It's going to do better posing the legs outward versus forward. So that kind of sucks. But as you can see, the legs and everything look really good. Not a whole lot going on. Just enough sculpt and detail to capture the look of the character from the anime. The paint and everything on this looks really freaking good. I don't have any paint splotches or anything. So as far as the figure looks, I think that they probably couldn't have done it any better. Now, in terms of design, I just wish they would have went with a softer plastic. Now, when it comes to the height on this guy, to the top of his head, as you can see, he is right at 6 inches to the top of his hair, about 5.5 to the top of his forehead. So really good height. Of course, we'll see how he stacks up to some other figures once we get to the size comparisons. Most of them are going to be pretty random just because we don't have any other figures in this line for me to compare him to. Now, when it comes to the articulation on this guy, he doesn't really look up much just because of the fact that the hair is going to touch the back of the collar. He looks down very well, so that's good. He does get really good tilt and turn. No issues with the range of motion. Both arms do go up and out. This one's going to go up a little bit more just because he doesn't have the same design on this side, so I will cover both. Now, you can bring that arm in all the way, as well as this one. So those sword swinging poses are not going to be a problem. He does have a bicep swivel. He does have what looks like an extra swivel, yeah, right here at the sleeve. So that's good. Double jointed elbows. Hands are on ball peg, so you guys see it. You can move those around freely, so that's also really freaking good. Now, when it comes to the rest of the other arm, basically, again, you can move it in. He does have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. He does have movement right here at the sleeve, so that's cool. And actually, yeah, no, never mind. I thought it was a peg on. Anyway, the hand is also on a ball peg, but this one is meant to come off because of the design. So that's why you see that moving like that. I'm a little scared because I do see this ball peg right here splitting in half whenever I articulate it. So I'm a little worried about that. Hopefully that doesn't cause an issue. Now, this is where I run into my first problem. If you look, you can see that there are cuts for articulation in here, but you're not going to be able to use it because of the robe piece. It's just not going to work. He leans back about that much, forward about that much, and at the waist, he moves around about this much. So basically, they could have saved all of this sculpt work right here and maybe spent less money making this guy. I don't know why we have all these extra cuts and we can't use them. And then on top of that, this piece right here is not meant to be taken off. It looks like you can, but it's not meant to be. So I don't know why they did that. Those type of decisions are what frustrate me with Tamashii Nations. Now, anyway, the skirt is split into two pieces, as you guys can see, but they're going to really hinder that articulation because of how hard the plastic is. Now, he kicks out just fine, not all the way, but well enough. Kicking forward, he can do it, as you guys can see, but the skirt piece is going to hinder it if you have it all the way. Now, you can make it sit, but it's not going to have a good look. So there is that. He does have a thigh swivel, but if you, well, apparently if you mess with it too much, it'll pop the leg off. But he does have a thigh swivel, double jointed knees, thankfully. They look decent. No boot swivel right here. Foot goes down about that much, up about that much. Really good ankle rocker, really good toe hinge. So articulation-wise, everything works. The only issue is the skirt piece, but that was to be expected. We all saw that coming whenever we saw the promo images for this guy. Now, when it comes to accessories, you do get a decent amount, but that doesn't take away from the fact that I think one of the decisions is quite questionable. Now, first off, he comes out of the packaging with a neutral head sculpt and a pair of fist hands. In terms of other faceplates, he gets another one that looks exactly like the one that he has on him. Now, I looked at the back of the packaging because it shows all the faceplates on there, and this is one that he was supposed to come with. So we don't need this at all because it looks exactly like the one he's got on right now. So that's weird. Then he does come with this signature kind of smirking face, which this looks weird to me, man. I don't know what's going on, but it's like blue around the teeth. I don't know what's up with that. Like, it looks like he's been chewing gum or something. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know why it has that. And I thought it was just this faceplate, but it looks kind of the same on this one too, which is his comedic expression. Now, it's not as noticeable, but it's still there. Hopefully that's just my copy. You guys let me know in the comment section below, but I don't like that at all. Anyway, he does come with this arm where it looks like he's got his arm in a sling, but it's not. He's just got it tucked into his robe, and then you can peg the extra hands on for basically him hitting the Itachi pose. That's what I'm gonna call it, the Itachi pose. Now, he does come with other hands. As you guys can see, he comes with a set of weapon holding hands. Each of his right hands have a peg on the end of them for plugging into the kimono. So I'm glad they have that. He does come with a pair of relaxed hands, and then he does come with a pair of reaching, grabbing, stylish pose hands. So that's cool. And then lastly, he does come with his sword. So a decent spread of accessories. I think we could have used some more facial expressions and better paints on them. But other than that, no complaints. I'm just not really happy with the accessories, to be honest. Moving on to size comparisons, here he is standing next to the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Daima Adult Goku, the SH Figuarts My Hero Academia Deku, and the SH Figuarts Yu Yu Hakusho Yusuke Urameshi. And since we're on the topic of Yu Yu Hakusho, where are the rest of the figures, Tamashii Nations? Next up, here he is standing next to an SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Daima Adult Vegeta, the SH Figuarts Naruto Shippuden Hinata Hyuga, and then a Kyoto Rebel Tech My Hero Academia Mirko. Last but not least, for some random extras, here he is standing next to a Metacom Toy or Mafex Spider-Man 2099, a Marvel Legends Maximum Spider-Man, which is my favorite Spider-Man figure, and then of course the In Art Toys 1/12 Batman from The Dark Knight or Dark Knight Rises. I think it's the same costume for the most part. Now, when it comes to my final thoughts on this figure, I'll be honest with you guys, man. I do enjoy it, but I don't like it as much as I want to, just because of specific decisions that Tamashii Nations makes when it comes to doing characters that have kimonos or even oversized capes like the One Piece figures. If they are not going to give us soft goods, I really wish that they would make the plastic soft enough to where it doesn't really hinder the articulation. As I said, the upper half of the body is damn near perfect, but the lower half, the hindrance of the lower piece of the kimono, it really becomes annoying. Now, don't get me wrong, you can still pose this guy as I'm clearly showing right now, but it would be much easier if this was just a softer plastic. Like, that's all I'm asking for, not anything completely different. A softer plastic, that's really all we need. But that still doesn't take away from some other things I do think that they could have included to make this figure better, such as more facial expressions. We definitely could have gotten a few more facial expressions. One other thing that I thought of as I was wrapping up this video, if you look, he does have this accessory where his arm is coming out of the kimono. I think we should have gotten another accessory for a hanging sleeve. That would have been something easy to sculpt. It would have made the look much more natural when he does have his arm kind of hanging out of the shirt. So that would have been great to get. And one other thing I just thought of randomly that would have been cool, but I know it would have jacked the price up, would be his scooter. I would have loved to get him on the scooter, but I can understand why they didn't throw that in. So overall, decent figure. I do like it. I'm definitely going to be keeping it in my collection. Hopefully we get Toshiro next. He would be definitely the best selection for the next character, because this isn't a line that I really see lasting very long. This might be a one and done, but we'll see. Time will tell. Now, overall, I hope that you guys enjoy this review. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, as that always helps me out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you hit that bell icon so you're notified whenever I upload new content. And last but not least, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep all my activity outside of YouTube. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye.